Hello and welcome back to Season 2 of Football Manager 2018 with FC Groningen. And I'm already here looking at Mimoun Mahi, and that's because he's left, as you can tell, because we're not Marseille. That's fairly obvious. He has left, he's gone to Marseille. We didn't get a huge amount of money for him, we got 7.75 million. We do have a 50% profit sell-on. So if he keeps getting better and he goes for, I don't know, like 20 million, 25 million, something like that, which is highly possible. If he goes to China, amazing. We're going to get half of the profit above the 7.75. I think that's actually 10 million once you add in all the fees. Another player to leave is Ruben Jensen, who was out on loan at Kaiserslautern for the last season. We didn't get a chance to play him. He's gone to Club Brugge in Belgium for £2.9 million, which for a player who basically isn't that good... He's 30 years old. I'll take that money. The final player who's left of any merit is Samir Memisevic. He's gone on loan to Reims in France. He's gone there for the season, basically to get some games. I might end up selling him if they want him. Our transfer budget for the start of the season wasn't particularly big. It was about 900k, 800k, something like that. And then we sold Mahi, which meant our transfer budget went up quite a lot of money. I think it went up by about £6 million because we're only allowed 70% of the money. So I've reinvested that, and our main problem that we had last year, I thought, was depth. So we've kept a lot of players, and we've bought a lot of players that can play in the same positions. First up are a couple of players who aren't really going to be backups or anything at the moment. Constant Nabayu is a player that I thought I was going to get in January. Didn't get him in January because I'm an idiot. He's come in free transfer from CFDFA in Ivory Coast. Young prospect. He's a prospect, that's the word. Decent player. He probably won't get a huge amount of games because I bought another right back. And that is this guy, Jean Dakonam, Togolese right back. He's come in for 675k from Getafe. I can't speak today. This is always going to go well. Decent player. I think he's better than Zifuik. I don't know, but I had massive problems with Zifuik last year, so Dakonam's come in. He's going to be my first choice right back. I've bought another right back as well, and that is Fale Sacco from Vitguamares in Portugal. He's a Malian right back, has no cap, 1 under 20s cap. Again, 3-star ability, got a bit of potential as well. Decent player. It's between him and Dakonam, who's going to be the number one. So far, Dakonam is the number one. This guy basically sits on the bench for most of the season. Central defenders time. Juna Toivio. He has joined from Brookbet Tamalika. Brookbet Tamalika. Where are they from? What country? Lotto. It's Romania. Are you Romanian? Poland. I bought you from Poland. Okay, he's come in from Poland. 30-year-old Finnish centre back. Got a lot of caps. Got a lot of experience, which I like about him. 3.5-star current. Not going to get any better either because he's 30 years old. He's come in for 475k. I like the look of him. He's also coming in, he's now the club captain as well. Let's take a step backwards and have a look at this goalkeeper that I've signed. Argentine goalkeeper, 23 years old, Ezequiel Unsain. He's joined £1.9 million, which is a lot of money for him. He's only 23. He's in on a rotation contract, so he is going to be my number 2 keeper behind Sergio Pad, but he will probably be my cup goalkeeper. He'll probably be the goalkeeper in games where Pat just hasn't been very good for a few games, because he does that. Into the midfield then, and we have signed 23-year-old German central midfielder Jonas Meffert from Freiburg. He's come in for not a lot of money, it's 220k? 220k he's joined for. Decent looking player. He's in as a first team. I don't know whether he is first team. He is 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He might be first team. I don't know, we'll find out. The first of our 2 loan signings is Christian Frydek, on loan from Chelsea, Czech. Central midfielder, I think he starts the game at Sparta Prague, not sure, might start it at Chelsea. He's in for the entire season on a rotation contract. He's very good, but he has gone and got himself injured very early on in the season. Moving on to the wingers that we brought in. 18-year-old Ivorian Frank Dogbowl. Now, if you watch my Southampton... Was it Southampton? I think it was Southampton. I bought him for Southampton. Pretty sure I might have bought him for Napoli as well. I always try and buy Frank Dogbowl on FM17. He was really good, had a load of potential. On this one, he still has a decent amount of potential, but he never seems to leave AFAD Jacquenou, so he never really hits it. He's 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He will be getting games. I 100% guarantee you he will be getting games because essentially he is my replacement for Mahi. The next winger through the door is 23-year-old American Julian Green. Now, I am very impressed by this loan signing. I was not expecting to be able to get this guy. He's costing me a bit of money a month. I'm paying not all of his wages because I couldn't afford it, but I am giving them about 70k a month. Just cash in hand kind of thing to cover the rest of his wages. He's come in until the end of the season from VfB Stuttgart in Germany. Spent last season on loan at Greuther Fürth. He's good. He's versatile. He's pretty quick. I do like him. He's American, and I can say his name. That's always handy. This guy, however, I can't say his name. Edis Ibaguin, sure. Colombian striker, 26 years old, a natural target man, also very good complete forward, also very good advanced forward, which are basically the three roles that I'm probably going to be playing this season. He's come in on, I want to say, a free transfer. 125k wasn't exactly a lot of money. He's come in from Bolivia, where he's been pretty prolific, really, over his career. I say prolific. For a striker, 4 goals in 18 games isn't that prolific, but he's scoring goals. 3.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. I like the look of him. He's got good first touch, he's got good heading, finishing isn't too bad, dribbling's pretty decent as well. Lots of 12s, 11s, 13s sort of in there. In his mental stats, so maybe that's where he's going to fall down, and his physical stats, actually. In fact, that is his entire physical stats, his 11s, 12s, and 13s. And the final player I'm going to show you is Sekou Karamoko, Ivorian striker. He's come in from Africa Sports. We paid a bit of money for him, and by we, I mean I asked the board to buy him before we actually got a transfer budget. He's come in for 240k. He's got a lot of potential. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's 6 foot. He can also play in midfield. He's never playing in midfield because he can't defend. I like him. He needs to get better at finishing, being a striker and all. But give him time and I think he will get there. So that is our transfer business for the second season. We've made £10 million from sales. We've spent £4.3 million. However, we've got about 900k left. Not a lot of wage budget because a lot of the money from the Mahi deal ended up going into the wage budget to allow us to get some of these players. So basically, we sold Mahi, we got a load of transfer budget, and our wage budget went up by about 4k, which didn't really help because I couldn't use that money. Along with all the transfers that involved some form of money, David Brown, Adel Mounen Al-Awazin, Mohamed Abdul Karim, Daniel Baumann, Tim Rixman and Pele Bovink have all left on free transfers. The only one there who's really any good was David Brown. He's still on a free transfer, I think. Yes, he is. I loaned him out last year. He got 5 goals in 27 games for RKC. Now, it's very rare that I do this kind of thing, but at the end of the season, I released pretty much my entire coaching staff. And by released, I mean I forgot to give them contracts, and they all just left. So Peter Hoekstra has gone, all of the fitness coach, B-team coach, my director of football has left. So we've lost a lot of coaches and a lot of staff. We have replaced them all. The main ones really to look at is going to be Fred van der Hoorn, who's our director of football. I didn't hire these people. I just got the board to do it. So I'm not really sure if he's not very good, is he? Not very good at all. Judging player ability is 12. Judging player potential is only 10. I might need to replace him very soon. Our assistant manager, however, I'm not particularly disappointed with at all. He looks quite good. He's, in terms of knowledge and stuff, it's not massively great, but adaptability 20, determination 16, level of discipline 16. I don't know whether that makes a difference for assistant managers, but I assume if he's doing things like team talks and stuff like that, maybe it does. His motivating's 11. Well, that could be better. We're almost done with all the nonsense of transfers and stuff. We've played 2 games. Looking at the league table on the left-hand side, it's not very good reading. Looking at the player stats in the middle, you can see our top scorer, non-existent. Most assists, non-existent. Most player of the match awards, non-existent. Because we are 2 games in, we've drawn a game, and we've lost a game, and we've not scored a single goal. Pre-season actually went quite well. We ended up winning 4 of our 5 games. The only one we didn't win was against Pro Piacenza in Italy, which was a 0-0 draw, so we still didn't even lose it. In the league, however, we suddenly stopped scoring goals. First up was FC Twente away, a 2-0 defeat. Tom Boa with the goals on 37 and 40 minutes. Wasn't a good performance, just couldn't score a goal. I need my team to really start pulling their finger out. Then we went to play Excelsior, which is obviously the team that we played near the end of the season last year. And it was a 0-0 draw. Defensively, we were pretty good. As a striking unit, we were pretty terrible. Tom van Weert gets a 6.2. Things like that. Just the one match today, and that is going to be against Feyenoord, which is probably not a very good team to be playing, considering we can't score any goals. We really need to work out how to score some goals. I've been tinkering with some formation stuff. So I haven't used it yet. I'm looking. I'll show you in a minute anyway. I'm looking at going a 4-5-1 with wingers, maybe, possibly. Not sure, but because I've got some decent strikers now, I kind of feel like I should use more than one striker. The starting lineup we are going to go for then against Feyenoord. In goal is Sergio Pat, back four of Van Nijf as the left back, Jajin Dakanam as the right back, Larsen and Toivio as the two central defenders. So in the back four, two new signings, both of them on the right hand side. Midfield pairing of Jonas Meffert and Gregor Breinberg. Julian Green is going to be an inside forward on the left-hand side. Frank Dogbolt is going to be an inside forward on the right. No, he's not going to be an inside forward on the right. He's going to be a winger on the right on support. And the two strikers are going to be Veldwijk and Van Weert. We do have all of our new players on the bench. Hussein, Sacco, Hotic is there as well. Ibagruen's on there. Mike Tawarik, the other centre-back, is there. Karamoko is there. Constant Nabu's there. Friedrich's there, injured. Won't play. Joel Donald's still there, don't worry, he's still about. We've actually got our teams big enough now, so we have reserve players, which is handy. I literally said I'm going to be playing a 4-5-1, and then I just didn't play a 4-5-1. Basically, the formation that Feyenoord are playing, that's what I was going to be playing, something similar to that. So we'd have the triangle of midfielders. I'm not doing that, obviously. We're going with the 4-4-2 that I normally play. In case you're wondering as well, the new winter update has been released. This kind of puts a timestamp of when I recorded this. So there will be things that are slightly different. They still haven't fixed the bug where regen players decide to change skin colour. 10 minutes in, we've had no highlights, and Feyenoord have just had a nice flurry of attack there. 20 minutes in, still no highlights, and no attacking football from us whatsoever. I don't understand. I really don't like... In terms of where the ball is, can we change this maybe? Where is it? Where is the action zones? Okay, we've got a highlight and it's ours. Hold on. Throw on Dejin Meffert. He's called Dejin on the pitch. It's really confusing. Van Weert, edge of the area, gets tackled. The counter-attack now for Feyenoord is on Luciano, the only Feyenoord player in our half. Keeps running with the ball. Plenty of players joining him. Through ball to Amrabat. That is a great ball. Amrabat's effort is over the bar. Is that Nordin Amrabat? It's not Nordin Amrabat. It's his brother. Breinberg gets the ball. Green to Van Nijf. Van Nijf back to Breinberg. Breinberg's ball forward to Green. It wasn't a very good ball. Toornstra going to play it back to the keeper, hopefully, and hopefully we can nick in there. Toornstra crosses it for some reason. Hold on, Frankie Dogbol's in the penalty area. Frankie bloody Dogbol scored. Frank, the mother flippin' Dogbol, has scored a goal against Feyenoord. That's his first goal. I think this is only his second start as well. We've had 2 shots. We've scored 1 goal. They've had 11 and scored no goals. We are approaching half-time. There's a minute to go. They've now had 14 shots and they still haven't scored a goal. We're going to go in 1-0 up thanks to Frank Dogboll. Because this is the new winter update, we've got to change to the whole team talk stuff. I don't really understand it. I guess you can now just shout at the defence, midfield and attack individually that way. Cruzen done a pretty decent team talk. Problem is, we're still getting battered. So I need to change something and I'm not really sure what. I'm doing this. It's a bad idea, right? Dogboll, change. You should be a support. Veldwijk is coming off because he's not playing very well. Who do I have who can play as a deep line playmaker? Warmerdam. Is that it? I thought I bought... Is it you? I think I bought you. You can play there. Yeah, you're a defence midfielder on support. And then you can come off for somebody else. Bakuna. There we go. That's much better. Do we need a ball-winning midfielder? Sure. It's not going to work. Looks like Feyenoord have also done a sub at half-time. Yuri has come on. Obviously, Bakuna has come on for us. I'm hoping they don't keep just having attacks at us, because that seems to be the big problem right now. Looking at the action zones, it is worrying how many areas of the pitch we are losing in. The only one we're winning in is our defensive third, and that's not exactly convincing winning. 65-ish minutes in, they are all over us. like all over us. I don't really know what we can do. They keep doing subs. I'm not doing anything. Right, Van Weert is playing awful. Right, let's get Van Weert off. Let's bring on Iberguin. Sure, Iberguin's on. Do we change anything else? Bring off Green. Bring off Green for Dino. That's all of our subs. I'm just going to keep with this. We don't seem to be letting any highlights happen, so that might mean we will win 1-0. 76th minute, we've got a highlight. Feyenoord's throw. Larson out to Yuri. Yuri doesn't get there, and Toivio does. In the middle to Meffer, the German midfielder. Bakuna. Dogbowl, the goal scorer. Forward ball, not a great ball. Bosselgin back to Vimir, the keeper for Feyenoord. This is probably going to be an attack for them, isn't it? Ball over the top. De Jean gets it first. Ball back upfield. Hotic is going to try and run onto it. It's not going to get anywhere near it. Kleiber. St. Just. It's not Jason St. Just, is it? That's the former Southampton player that we bought from someone weird. Yuri intercepted. Ball cleared. St. Just gets it back. Kleiber. Aob. Berghuis into the area. It's going across in. There's plenty of players at the back. Larsson's one of them. It is one apiece. And this could be the collapse. Do we change from counter? I mean, we can't really change from counter. That's all we can really do. Another highlight a couple of minutes later. And it's not looking like it's a good one. Larsson. Tornstra. Ball out to Berghuis again. Yuri's in the middle. Berghuis is going it alone. He's hit it just wide. That's lucky. Van Knife with a throw for us. 80 minutes, 10 minutes to play. Van Knife again. Meffert. Meffert's been tackled. Larsson now counter-attack for Feyenoord. We've got 3 players on their 1. Yuri finds Larsson. Larsson ball forward to Berghuis. No, Tornstra nicks in there. Has a go. He's hit it wide. I'm not sure this new formation's working out somehow. There is 6 minutes left to play. And all the highlights seem to be going Feyenoord's way. Aob. Tornstra doesn't get there. Meffert gets it clear. Iberguin. Dogbowl's making a run down the right. Plays out to Dogbowl. There are 4 Groningen players in the box. Can Dogbowl find any of them? To the back. St. Just heads it towards his keeper. Terrific stuff from Dogbowl. We've got a minute left to play. I think we're going to nick a point here. There's 10 seconds left of injury time. Aob on the ball for Feyenoord. Kleiber, this is the last chance. Crossed in. Larsson's there. It's cleared. Haps is going to get there full time. It is 1-1 against Feyenoord. Nearly said Groningen. We're Groningen. Dakonam was the problem in that game by the looks of it. And so was Van Knife. This is a problem that I'm having with this game in general. Julian Green was switched off. Great. Basically, fullbacks can't defend. Just any of them. None of them can defend. That result then moves us up to 15th place. We've now got a top goal scorer, we've got a top assister, and we got a man of the match award. Tuivio got man of the match somehow. I'm not really sure how. Next episode, I think we're probably going to go for VVV Venlo down here and Ajax. There's a big old gap in the middle as well. We are a couple of days away from the end of the transfer window. There are transfers that are going on. What I might do is actually stick with it until the transfer window shuts and show you anything that goes on. It is deadline day and we've made a new signing. Anders Trondsen, the Norwegian Mazzala, basically. That's why I bought him, so he can play as a Mazzala. He has come in for £1 million from Rosenborg. Decent looking player. Lots of 11s, 12s and 13s everywhere, which kind of seems to be decent stats for this level. Anything higher than a 15 and you're in sort of Ajax quality player territory. Also, the young Icelandic midfielder Kolbein Birgir Finneson has gone out on loan to SC Canberra for the season. Hopefully going to be getting first team football for a whole year. I didn't do this last year because I kind of needed him. Because I've just signed Trondsen, a couple of transfers have failed. 2 young Ivorian players. First up is Coadio Diabate, I think is how you'd say it. He was going to join 400k. Basically spent all my money on Trondsen instead. And Ladji Diallo was the other one, although looking at him, I'm not sure that I'm a big fan of him. I'm going to scout them. I mean, this is the whole point of having scouting tools. The transfer deadline has literally just passed, but we've managed to pick up a little bit of money. 900k, 990k, and an extra 32,000 in instalments for this guy, who I've never heard of, who he's gone to Spal. Sure, 825k, we sold him for 140. Fine, we're getting some money. That is the end of the transfer window. There were some loan players that almost left. There were a few offers came in that I considered. Interestingly, Dolberg has gone to Arsenal. Jorgensen has gone to Lazio. I mean, Ajax have re-spent the money on some players. Can I see? I want to see the top transfers out. I want to see who's actually left. So, in terms of players leaving, Toonstra has gone. I mean, about 3 days too late. He's gone to Porto. Players have gone from Vitesse. Feyenoord have picked up a couple of players, though. Ajax have lost a few players. I mean, there's looking like there's some big players that have left the country, which is good news. I mean, other ones as well. Jorgensen, Trinidad de Vilhena, obviously Mahi, Daryl Yambat's come back to Ajax as well. So there are some players leaving, which is good. Fred Friday's gone. He's gone to Bremen. I wanted Fred Friday. That is going to do it then for this episode. We do now have a top goal scorer in Frank Dogbol. We do have a top assister in Jonas Meffert. We are still not doing very well, but we did get a point against Feyenoord, who were 4th at the time. Next episode, like I said, we're going to do VVV and we're going to do Ajax. So we've only got about 5 games in between to play, but I think this could be our defining point. Do we do well against VVV or do we do well against Ajax? That'll completely define our season. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2018 with FC Groningen in the Eredivisie in Holland. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.